Okay, everybody. I have something really cool to tell you about. If you haven't heard yet about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain here. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one single place. Now, the way that you can do this is you got to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, and then you can get started. It's really fun. We just switched over recently here at All Too Real 2, and I'm enjoying it so far. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think. Too Real 2 podcast. I am your host, Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is Matthew, the main man Haas.
I like that nickname.
The main man?
Main man, I like that.
Okay. Matt, the main man Haas. How you doing, Matt?
Doing good.
So, we watched a movie this week.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it.
It's a new thing for us. We don't really usually do that.
That's pretty much all we do, though.
Oh.
well, this is a new movie for us to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We watched another direct-to-video sequel. This one is called Cop and a Half, New Recruit. Or maybe just Cop and a Half, New Recruit.
Yeah.
So it's the sequel to the 1993 semi-popular crime comedy film Cop and a Half. The original, starred Burt Reynolds. This time around, we get La Bamba's Lou Diamond Phillips,
Yep.
who I'm a big fan of, actually, so that kind of made me want to see this movie. I don't know what it is about the guy, but
There's something about him.
he's got some charisma, that dude. Yeah. La 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 Bamba.
It's a great movie.
It is,
I love
actually.
that movie.
We need to cover that for our other podcast sometime.
Sure.
Yeah. Or
La
Too
Bamba-
Real.
What, La Bamba 2?
No, there's no La Bamba 2.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think there can be a 2 because he dies at the end.
That's what I was worried about. Like, what the plot's going to
It's about the making of the movie La Bamba.
Yeah.
And in it, I play Lou Diamond Phillips. It's weird. But, okay, so in this movie, which I'll give them one big thing up front, I don't remember the original that much, but from what I read and what I saw in the trailer for the Burt Reynolds Cop and a Half, this is a completely original story. Like, you got the similar concept with a cop and then a kid that wants to be a cop. That's the only the only similarities. And there's, it's unlike other movies that we've done, like Sandlot 2 or Bigger, Fatter, Liar. They were basically the same plot again. Yeah. So, with a few slight changes, not enough to make it worth watching the sequel. Whereas this one, I kind of enjoyed it. I know you didn't enjoy it as much as me, Matthew, but Matthew, the main man, Haas. But I kind of enjoyed this one. I mean, it had some really questionable CGI in it, and some of the acting was a little lame. But I will tell you this: the police in this movie were more believable than the police in Kindergarten Cop 2.
Really?
I liked Kindergarten Cop 2, but the boss in that one, I mean, I think that the FBI agents were okay, like, you know, Bill Bellamy's character and Dolph Lundgren's character in that movie. But their boss was like a caricature of a caricature.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas in this one, you actually have some kind of slightly grounded boss characters and other things like that. So it's like, you know, there is a little bit over the top in a lot of things, but I actually believe Lou Diamond Phillips is a cop. I believe the little girl, Karina Foley, played by Lulu Wilson, is her name. She's actually, I guess, an up-and-coming actress. She's going to be in like some upcoming horror films and stuff like that. She's supposed to be a pretty good actress, and she wasn't too bad in this movie. She's a little over the top here and there, but
yeah, you know,
can't blame her necessarily as much as the director and the writing. But okay, so what's the plot here, Matt?
The plot is that there's this prankster going around the city, doing all kinds of weird things that the police can't really explain because, like, you know, putting like cars on top of cars or sticking things up to the ceiling, you know, places, stuff that you know, they have no way of, like, there's no camera that captures like any person or whatever, so they don't really know, you know, who is doing this or why they're doing it. They always leave like a calling cards, usually like a heart with like a rhyming, like a poem on it, or like
and then a little plastic police badge.
Yeah, like a little toy, and then that's like, you know, the person's like,
yeah, they're calling him the Badge Bandit.
That's right, the Badge Bandit, and so like they're you know, the Lou Diamond Phillips is he's trying to catch him, and he's ends up breaking protocol or whatever a bunch of times. So his captain basically like has had enough and has him do, you know, desk work for a while, and then you know, that's like the first part of, you know, the first main character's plot. And then the second main character's plot is this girl who's like maybe like 9 or 10 years old, 8 or 9, and she's like really obsessed with like detective work and stuff. So she's trying to do something at school. I forgot what, because I was like let my dog out and stuff at that time, so I couldn't really. I knew that she was spying on like these like popular, you know,
she was trying to catch
the word like a bitchy girl. Basically,
yeah, go ahead.
What she was.
Yeah, she was trying to catch these kids doing cyberbullying.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically what she was trying to do at the beginning of the movie, and she was trying to catch them in the act, and they just basically thought she was weird.
Yeah, and then doesn't she get caught though? Doing like she knew their password or something like that. Or?
Yeah, well, yeah, she hacked into it.
Oh, and then they caught.
But the thing is, it was like the girl's name was like Farah, the bitchy girl.
Okay.
And I guess her password was like Pharaoh1 exclamation point.
Oh, okay.
So she was like, great password, you know, or something. Like
oh,
that.
I got you.
I don't know what she's, you know, basically she's, yeah.
So yeah, so she's running away from that, and then she ends up, I forgot if she got kicked out of school or she ran home or something, but then she ends up telling one of her friends, like, oh, hey, you see that guy across the street, that guy's a cop or whatever, and her friend's like, how do you know? He's, oh, I could just tell. And like, she always wants him to be her deputy because she thinks she's a cop even at this age. And he's like, I'm not your deputy, I gotta go home. So he goes home, and then she basically like just walks up to the guy and is like telling him how to do his job, like, you know, your car is very obvious, and you know, and anyone can tell that you're on a stakeout or whatever. And then he tells her to leave, and then she doesn't leave, and then he kicks down the door, and he finds a bunch of drones, like you know, like the
flying
drones.
Yeah.
And this person, like shadow of a person, kind of like, or is that? Am I getting ahead of myself?
It's okay.
Honestly, I don't remember if that happens right away. I know that she's
basically what the reason that the cop is doing the stakeout is because there was on the back of one of those notes was the name of this building that happened to be coincidentally near the school.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's some kind of science place where they were doing some kind of battery work, where they were building batteries that were like long lasting, so you could make your drones fly longer.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, that's right. So then he's taking out the factory or whatever, the warehouse, and then she didn't leave, so she's like part of this now, and she kind of technically helped them, with that part of the case. So then, he ends up like taking her to the office or whatever, and then, the big boss is like, "Oh, I finally have my way to really, fire him or to, the captain, who, according to IMDb, does not have a last name." Oh, okay.
That's really great for a female actress. Let's just call her Captain.
Let's just call her.
Let's not even give her a first or last name. And she's played by Janet Kidder, who I was curious, based on her last name, is the niece of Margot Kidder, who was who was Lois Lane in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
Okay.
Yeah. So, who just recently passed away, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. So, she's the niece of her, and she was actually a really good actress in this movie. That's what I was saying. As the boss character, as the captain, she was nowhere near being over the top. She was believable in her role. Sure, she overreacted to a bunch of shit, but then again, so do all people in movies like this.
Yeah, but she acted like a person.
Yeah,
not like
a cartoon.
The guy from the camp, or the whatever, the captain from the
Kindergarten Cop.
Like you said, he was like a caricature of a caricature. Like the whole like, I'm just gonna scream
all my lines.
You
for
broke
no reason.
protocol. You're gonna do desk work for the rest of your life, and it's like, okay, we get it. You're like the hard ass, captain, but
she still conveyed that without doing that.
Well, what I mean? She was the hardest captain.
She conveyed authority without being an asshole.
Yeah,
which was good.
Interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
It's kind of like sad that she almost wasted that role on such a cheesy movie, but. Hey, you got to treat every role like it's, your last role, I guess. So that way you do a top-notch job no matter what. So, not making fun of the movie. I'm just saying it's like a low-budgety kind of like cheesy kind of, with the CGI graphics were terrible.
Well, she did have a recurring role, which I was trying to figure out where I knew her from. Mm-hmm. She had a recurring role as Ruve Adams in... the TV series Arrow, who was kind of a villainous character, and she was amazing in that show. But she was in like 7 episodes of that show, so and she got to shine in that a little bit, which was good. That's where I wasn't sure where I knew her from, but she's been in a lot of things, like a lot of things produced in Canada because she's Canadian.
Okay,
so makes sense. And Arrow's produced in Canada, and she was in the X-Files, which was produced there. She's Grace Point, which was there. Yeah, a lot of things. Supernatural, which is produced in Canada. Created by somebody from Sylvania, though. Sylvania, Ohio, which is near where we're recording this right now. The studio is located in Toledo, Ohio.
He went to Southview High School, and I went to Northview High School.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool, to have
fun. So where were we after this, then? What happens in the...
Well, he's basically, like, being punished for involving a child at one of his... well, for one thing, he wasn't even supposed to be doing a stakeout. He was supposed to be on desk duty.
So
he was already going against authority for that alone, and then involved a child, against his will because he told her to leave, but still, he still involved the child. And then, I was getting the impression for a while that like she didn't really have like parents at home a lot because like she was always like. Every time he asked her like where are your parents or whatever, she'd always kind of like change the subject. So I was like felt kind of sorry, like maybe her parents are always working or whatever.
I think we had already seen her mom in that one scene though prior to that.
Oh, well,
the scene where she feeds her dog.
Was that? Oh, maybe that's right. That's right. She said, "Mom, I'm okay." Well, yeah. I guess I missed that or wasn't paying attention. But so he's for most of the movie, he's pretty much trying to dissuade her from get involved in his cases because it's dangerous and it's not for kids, and she just keeps doing what she's gonna do. He's very stubborn like that, so he kind of gives her like little jobs to do like that really won't jeopardize her safety or whatever. But he ends up taking her home one of these days, and that's where he meets her mom. And there's kind of like this little interesting thing. You thought that maybe there would be like a spark between them, which there kind of was, but didn't really go anywhere.
I mean, it kind of did, but not really. It's just kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ever a sequel, maybe it'll go into that.
Yeah, Cop and a Half. New officer. No, I don't know. And trying to think. She's 18 now, so she just like rushed into the.
She becomes a cop and
at 18. Do cops even come?
I don't know. I never looked into that, so I don't know.
I think that might be a little bit. Yeah, you might be like have to be at least 19. Whatever. Anyway, so I don't know anything about that. But she. See, I'm trying to remember because there's a lot of this movie. Kind of was like slow going for a while, and then it kind of picked up like at the last half hour. So
it did.
There wasn't a whole lot that actually happened in the movie.
It was pretty much them going to different things and somehow the kid would show up. Throughout the thing, she would periodically complain about the cop who is in the movie named Simmons, Detective Simmons, Blue Diamond Phillips' character. She kept complaining about his eating habits and his health and stuff like that, and tried to get him to drink smoothies and weird shit like that.
And I was like, why does she care so much about his health?
Well, I think she just basically kind of likes him, and the fact that her dad was a cop and he died,
right?
So she doesn't want this guy to die,
I guess.
And that's where I thought that they're gonna set up the mom with him,
and
it kind of didn't pay off really. I mean, I guess it's kind of implied that maybe they're gonna start dating.
In a way, though, I guess it might be kind of a good thing because she already has a prior relationship with this guy than her mom does. Just kind of messed up. You think about it, that she knows the guy longer than her mom does.
And but that happens a lot in movies.
I know, but they've already developed like a certain kind of relationship. But then him being like a stepdad would be kind of a weird.
Well, I don't know if it would be because I mean she was kind of adopting him as a father figure in a way.
I know, but
even though she was acting kind of motherly towards him in a way too, even though she was the kid.
Yeah, but kind of weird. See, that's the whole. But yeah, I guess she was.
I saw this one. I watched a part of it and then. I don't remember what it was. There was some kind of review that I was watching on YouTube about it, and then I was getting tired. But some guy, his question, or was it one of them I read? I don't know. But I was reading some reviews of this movie and stuff, and somebody's like, "Were they in love?"
No.
That's what the guy was reading into. It was like kind of like a pedophilic thing, and I'm like, "You're stupid." That's where I was like, "Okay, you need help, man."
Just trying to get likes.
I think that's why I didn't read any longer or listen to the rest of it because I just didn't agree with it.
They try to say stuff like that just to get views or whatever, and it's like it's also like a lot of like people like edgelords, like people who think they're so edgy and funny. Like I noticed that like they have to take any story that's like whimsical or like childlike, and they always have to make it like really really dark, and like they think like that makes them all edgy. Like there's one guy who came up with this really elaborate Harry Potter theory that Harry actually didn't really go through all of that he was abused by his aunt and uncle so much that he went into
imagined
everything.
It's
like it's like you have to. Like,
I know
they think they're being like, oh, this is so edgy, but it's like
they're the
only ones that think that way.
My thing is more power to them for using their imagination, whatever. But maybe you should just write your own book, and maybe write a book where that actually happens to a kid, where he, Hi, folks. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay. Anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? Well, I don't know. I asked the folks and nobody's answering me
because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it! Yeah, we love it though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Super Story podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
Yeah, no one can really. So
So check out Super Story Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Super Story Podcast.
But anyways, throughout this movie, the rest of the plot basically it plays out where we find out okay, there's this computer geek that works at the police station named Oliver. He's helping them with the case and everything. And about 5 minutes after he appeared on screen, I was like, "There's our killer," or not killer, but he's not killing anybody, but there's our prankster.
Yeah.
And I mean, he did try to kill people.
What
it seemed like it.
He had
Yeah.
lasers on his drone.
Uh-huh.
So
And the lasers were blowing up everything, but somehow always missed actually hitting a human.
well, maybe he did that on purpose.
Yeah,
didn't
maybe
wanna
he didn't
kill
want to
anyone.
kill anybody.
That's the other
but, yeah.
question. How did he get lasers? How did he build laser weapons, or what were they?
Well, he's smart.
Well, I know, but what were they made out of?
Lasers.
But how do you use laser as a weapon? I don't understand what that means.
Well, lasers.
I know, but what are lasers?
They're lasers.
Exactly. See, everyone knows. That's my point. Nobody knows what a laser actually is. They just say it, but no one can actually. And I can't either. I'm not putting myself on like a authoritarian.
I'm not a scientist.
Either
so
about
I don't know.
But anyway, so he apparently made laser weapons or guns. Which,
Yeah.
Okay.
At one point, they were able to stun Simmons' hands and make them go numb.
That's right. Yeah, he made his whole arms go numb. Actually.
Yeah, and I thought that was actually kind of funny because then the kid had to help him drive the car.
Yeah. So that's right. That's how she helped out because
Yeah.
she was.
We're
Driving.
jumping all over this fucking plot.
No. That's how she first got involved. That he got shot by the laser gun.
Yeah.
The Qzar gun.
But that wasn't when she first got involved. That was like when she was just showing up and
That's
helping.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of the many times
That
she
was
just
one of the many-
inserted herself into the case.
Like she just knew. Well, she knew because she took her dog's bracelet that tracked where her dog was. It was called Here Girl. Was the name of the product. Here Girl, and then she
Wow.
put that in his car so she could track where he's going. She basically put a freaking tracking device in his car.
On a cop a detective
On the detective.
who doesn't notice this.
Yeah.
He's a detective. I don't know.
Well, it was implied that he was kind of like not taking his job very seriously at
Yeah.
that point. Well, I mean, he was, but in some ways,
Yeah.
not. Like he really wanted to get this prankster. That was like his one focus type of thing.
By the way, just to give credit here, the mom Sarah Foley was played by Gina Holden. I just want to give credit
Okay.
to different characters here. And she, sorry, folks. She's another Canadian actress, and she's been in movies like Saw 3D and Final Destination 3 and Sand Sharks. Sand Sharks. That's a movie, man. Anyways,
I'm guessing they swim through sand.
yeah, she was also in. Where was it? There was a movie that I definitely want to cover for a future episode of the show while we're doing these direct-to-video sequels. She was in The Butterfly Effect 2, which was a direct-to-video sequel. Have you ever seen that one? I've actually seen it several times, and I enjoy it. So I think I want to cover it for the show.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be a halfway decent movie to cover for this.
Okay.
It was a pointless movie to be made, but it was still enjoyable. Anyways, so back to this. Okay, well, basically when he had the numb hands, she had to help him drive and everything. But back to Oliver. Okay, he's working at the station. He's a geeky guy. None of the cops want to learn computers. They do some research. They find out that basically they figure out that the bandit is this guy named Dewey, who was a recruit at the police force. He got rejected because of some kind of psych evaluation or something like that, and wasn't able to become a cop. Anyways, Oliver figured that out, and they're trying to do this facial recognition software on there because when they open up his file, his face is all fucked up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So dun. Anyways, they're trying to figure out who he is, and needless to say, it's Oliver. Anyways,
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
yeah. And by the way, he's the bad guy who I saw 5 minutes into the movie. Anyways, as soon as he appeared on screen, I'm like, yep, he's the murderer, but not the murderer. You know what I mean?
He's the prankster.
He's the prankster. But yeah, so he sends them he gives the address to the cops and sends them to the house, and they're about to bust down the door, and it turns out it's the mayor's house.
Yeah.
The mayor, who is played by Reese Alexander, who was also the head security guard in Bigger, Fatter, Liar, another movie we've covered on this podcast. So we have a connection there,
Yep.
you know, because I think they were both shot in Canada.
They're probably
So
direct-to-video,
Yeah.
the circuit.
yeah,
The
like
direct-to-video
that's
circuit.
what he does.
Okay.
I don't know. He's a decent actor, but
Yeah.
he's just, I don't know. He's been in a lot of. He's been in some decent movies. He's in 50 Shades of Grey. He's in. I mean, like decent by. I mean by like. I don't necessarily know if the movie's good because I never saw it, but I'm just saying decent budgeted movies. He was in. He was in The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. He was in The Day the Earth Stood Still. He's. I don't know, in a lot of. He's in the TV show Flash a couple times. So yeah. Anyways, he played a prison guard in one of the episodes, and he played a museum guard in a different episode. Wonder if it's the same character or if it's just
Yeah.
two guards in Central City both look the same. Anyways, so basically what happens is eventually they find the location where all of the drones are located, and it ends up being a setup by Oliver. He wants to blow all of them up.
Yeah.
He goes from not wanting to kill anybody to almost blowing up all the cops.
Yeah, like he...
Just to prove he's better than them. And then they figure out that it's him while they're there. I don't even remember how they figured it out.
He... Simmons, I forgot how he came to, like, the revelation or whatever, but...
I think it was something somebody said or something.
He ends up trying to call the kid. I forgot her name. I always call her the kid.
Karina or something?
That's right, Karina.
Yeah.
And she discovers it on her own, but then Oliver ends up like coming back like, I really wish you wouldn't have found that. That whole
all of a
villain
sudden
speech.
his voice gets villainous.
Like, yeah, the whole villain speech, you know, like, and then he holds her as hostage. There's a callback to when Simmons was saying that his partner, or his partner once was, whatchamacallit?
He couldn't shoot his partner.
He couldn't shoot his partner or whatever.
Or shoot the villain to get his partner
Yeah.
away or something.
And
Anyways.
she tells him to shoot anyway, so he ends up shooting the computer instead, and the computer explosion knocks him back.
Knocks Oliver to the ground,
Yeah.
and then then you think everything's all safe and sound, and then
Right,
they go
right.
to there's the Harvest Fest that they're going to, and they go to this Harvest Fest parade, and while Oliver's in custody, he's laughing maniacally, and then he has a remote control in his mouth.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
How is he able to laugh?
You
He
can
got-
laugh with something in your mouth. I mean, try it. Put like a candy bar in your mouth.
I know,
and
but
try
he
to laugh.
well,
It's about the same size as a candy bar.
yeah, but it sounds muffled. His laugh didn't sound
I know.
muffled. It sounded like a completely full laugh. Anyway,
Yeah, but anyways, he was able to he was able to bring the biggest,
yeah,
and now I'm talking Wayne Szalinski Tiki Man big.
yeah,
If you remember, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
yeah.
Now that size of a drone,
Yeah, it was huge.
really bad CGI,
Oh, yeah, it was
or
horrible.
whatever it is, or composite, whatever. I
It
don't
was
know
just
how,
terrible,
Yeah, it
whatever
was
it
just
was.
whatever it
And-
was, and because I mean, basically, it made it look like the drone was the size of Utah,
Yeah,
and
it was huge, and
yeah,
yeah, it was bad.
but anyways, they end up saving the day by using a cannon that was there from the veterans.
Like a really old
In the
style.
parade. Yeah, an old style cannon. They needed to put more stuff into the thing to shoot it down. They ended up using the billy club
Mm-hmm.
that Karina's dad had given her before he died
right,
or something.
So she used
and
that.
so she used that to destroy this, and that was the one thing she had left from her dad. So it was all touching, and I wanted to cry.
I felt sad. I'm like, really? There's nothing left. God damn
My
it.
thing is like there were like trees around there and other
Yeah, they
things
could've-
you could have put.
Well,
other
they
stuff
were
in.
like in the heat of the moment. They're
Yeah,
trying to
they
figure out
could
what
have
to do.
done
and
something,
Oh.
but I don't know. Anyways, for the movie, it helped. So then they save the day and everybody's happy.
except for Oliver.
Yeah, because he was
Oliver's
And
you know, now he his one last chance to.
And I don't know if I was happy after watching the movie or not. I was kind of. I liked it, but it was like I don't know.
I didn't like it that much. To be
Yeah,
honest. I mean, it was okay.
It was better than I expected. Maybe that's what the problem was. Is I liked it because it was better than I expected.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting it to really, really, really suck.
Yeah.
And it only kind of sucked.
I mean, it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a good movie for kids. I'd recommend it to a kid.
Yeah,
like for a parent to watch it.
There's not a lot of bad words in it or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. And like I said before, what it reminded me of is a middle of the road Disney movie from the '90s, but shot in the 2017-18 era. Yeah. With better technology, basically, like drones. Interesting things here. We've got Principal Miller in the film. Was played by the great Wallace Shawn. People may know from Princess Bride, among other things. He's one of my favorite people on the planet, and people also might know him from My Dinner with Andre, which is
that's a good movie,
an amazing movie.
Yeah.
If you have not seen that, go like stream it or rent it or whatever you kids are doing these days.
Just watch it.
Yeah, watch it somehow.
For a while, it was free on YouTube.
Yeah,
like someone just uploaded
the whole movie. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, but it's one of the most amazing, simple, subtle movies where it's just two guys talking for like 2 hours. That's all it is. But it's so engrossing.
Yeah.
Anyways, a little bit of other trivia and stuff that we can throw out here is the mugshot photos of the previous recruits seen in the film are all members of the crew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Several of the crew members also appear as background extras. Here, according to one of my new favorite sites, Awful Movies. I don't know. You can just look it up. Just look up awful-movies.wiki.com. You can find some great little things or whatever on there. They've got a thing, and they say why this movie sucks in their opinion. It's a poor story. The pointless cameo by Wallace Shawn as the principal. Which I was like, how's that pointless? I mean, it wasn't really even a cameo.
It wasn't because
lines.
he didn't play himself.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is, you don't have to play yourself to be a
okay.
cameo. You can make a cameo in a movie, but play somebody else. But cameos are usually like limited to like less than a minute of screen time. I mean, they say that it lacked the charm of the original film. Having not seen the original film in a while, I thought this was kind of charming. I mean, whatever. It had its things. Yeah, they used the same tagline as the first movie. One kid's fantasy, one cop's nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah. They say one of their things is like none of the stars from the first movie appear in this film, but that happens in most direct-to-video sequels nowadays. So, they say that the child protagonist is arguably more annoying than the original, which I don't know. Say there's a pointless opening narration by Karina. There's unfunny quotes.
Oh God! Well, yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah, like Principal Miller stating that he hates his own voice. Another one that we liked. It's okay. There was this like informant who sold like bags and stuff on the street. His name was Slim. And at one point, after they meet him, Karina says to Simmons, do you want to do the honors here, Matt, with a great quote?
Sure. They're talking about that sometimes it's good to know people like people who are like criminals, I guess, because they can let you know about. And she goes, well, that Slim did seem shady.
No, it was Slim is definitely shady.
It's like
that's what she said,
and then she even pauses, like she's like waiting, waiting
for the laughter.
And the laughter that never came, and then
yes. It's like when you're in a sitcom and there is laughter there, but if you take the laughter out of a sitcom, it's really not funny.
I've seen that before. There's lots of interesting videos on YouTube about a show that's immensely popular, and they just put vacuum cleaner sounds or and it really just shows the the daftness and the coldness of what the show actually is.
It makes the show really depressing.
Yeah.
And we won't say what show
No,
it
we
is.
won't.
Big
No.
Bang Theory. Anyways, so
You know
yeah.
what though? Kind of remind
Yeah, go ahead.
we almost sound like the people we were talking about earlier that hate things. We sound like those guys right
Oh,
now.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
about the pumpkin spice.
Oh yeah,
Like,
we were
we
talking
sound-
earlier today. We before we were recording, we were just talking about the fact that we kind of hate people that hate pumpkins. There's a lot of times around the Halloween era where a time where people make fun of what like basic bitches who like who like pumpkin spice and stuff like that. I don't like pumpkin spice and I don't really care. But my thing is I'm not going to chastise some woman or man who are liking pumpkin spice.
Right.
But it seems like on social media, people find it hilarious to make fun of those people. Those people that find it hilarious actually annoy me more than the people that actually
'Cause
are
it goes
being made
on
fun.
for like 4 fucking months.
Yeah, and it's like,
ugh.
and everybody thinks that they're so original when they say this. And the thing is, people have been saying this since like 2012, and it's like, okay, we get it. It's not funny anymore.
So I'm thinking we almost sound like those.
We
people
do.
We're talking about the Big Bang Theory.
But
Oh well.
the thing is, basic bitches like the Big Bang Theory. So, anyways,
Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with.
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast
Super.
called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So we
It was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently,
Yeah.
folks. You can guess which one I said which way.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and
Yes.
The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all
Too
real. Bye-bye.
A respectable minister takes charge and leads head on.
Minister Dobble Trike may be the foremost politician of textiles.
As a minister, I have the utmost sensitivity to these situations, and if anyone's sensibilities were harmed, I would have sensed it.
But his petty ambitions will almost certainly lead us to unknown danger.
How dare you, sir! Unknown danger has its potential for profit. It's exotic.
You can hear Minister Trike and his antics in the radio comedy Magus Elgar.
Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
I'm just joking. Okay, if you like that show, more power to you.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Chuck Lorre is a great writer. He
No,
wrote
he is.
he wrote the theme song to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
That's a good show.
Yes,
A great show.
he wrote several episodes of a lot of like Muppet Babies and some other things too. But yeah,
I didn't see those, but
yeah, he wrote a lot of 80s cartoons, which I found really weird.
it's interesting.
But anyways, he wrote the theme song. Heroes in a Half Shell. It's all him, man. It's all him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so some of the redeeming qualities of this movie is that I find really cool is that, like I said before, this is not a rehash of the first movie.
No, it's
It's actually an original plot. And according to the awful movie Wikia, they say the idea of having an evil cop in the film was, or whatever you want to call him, guy that works with the police, was pretty creative, which wasn't part of the first movie, obviously. And it's funny because earlier they say that Karina might be more annoying, but then they say that Karina isn't as rude as Devon is in the first movie. Or Devon or Devon, whatever he is. I can't
See, I
remember.
don't remember
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
I thought that he wasn't that prude. I thought it was like Burt Reynolds was the one that was like rude to him because he
Yeah.
didn't want to have to like take care of him basically. Like,
And they say that Simmons is a cool cop. They say that the drones were an interesting tactic that our villain used. They were interesting. Bad CGI, but interesting.
yeah.
And then they said that they thought that Lulu Wilson was a good actress. She was decent as
Yeah,
Karina. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I would recommend this to like kids and stuff like that. I'd like to. I mean, one thing I'd like to hear, if you want to, if you want to email us at alltooreal2@gmail.com, I would really like to hear what this or any of our previous episodes, like what our fans are, or if anybody that's listening to our show. I'm going to call you a fan, even if you're not. If you're just listening to the show, you're automatically a fan. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah. I hate to break it to you.
live with it.
Yeah. Anyways, if you just email us, let us know what you thought of the show. I mean, not our show, but our thought of this movie. I mean, just let us know if you would recommend it to anybody. What about you, Matt? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I think to like some kids
Yeah.
or like even like teachers, like when they show a movie sometimes.
Oh yeah, like when you have that free period in class or something.
This would be a safe movie to show, I think.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be better than the fact that when I was in grade school, 2 different years in a row, we watched Mac and Me. 2 years in a row. Not just once. Not just once did we have to see the generic E.T. movie. We had to see it 2 years in a row.
Mac and Me, wow.
Have you ever seen Mac and Me?
I don't. I probably when I was a kid. Is Paul Rudd in that? I've heard that he's in that.
No, he's not.
Oh, that was a joke.
That's a joke that Conan does all the time.
And he would always
instead of showing a clip from one of Paul's movies, he'll show this clip from Mac and Me. Mac and Me, I mean, it has a. I used to like the movie a little bit when I was younger, but it's such a rip off of E.T. It's not funny.
Yeah.
And but anyways, that's for another show. Some other time we may watch Mac and Me and talk about it. It'd be fun.
Every time I even hear of Mac and Me, I literally think of mac and cheese, because in Friends, Joey was in the show.
Oh yeah, mac and cheese.
So, but it's actually if I even hear the phrase mac and me, I literally get hungry for mac and cheese. It's like,
well, if you watch the movie, you may get hungry for McDonald's because it's pretty much sponsored by McDonald's. It seems like that. I mean, even the movie's called Mac, and when there's a whole dance sequence in a McDonald's and a birthday party and stuff too. It's Ronald McDonald appears in the movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's one great advertisement, man.
Yeah, kind of like the Wizard.
Oh yeah, the Wizard with Fred Savage
like
and
Nintendo. Pretty much, it was like just a commercial for Nintendo.
Yeah, Fred Savage and the beautiful Jenny Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jenny Lewis.
I don't know.
She was in she was in Rilo the band.
Oh, Rilo Kiley?
Yeah.
Oh, it's her?
She's the lead singer of that band.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Cool.
I just blanked on their name all of a sudden. I'm like, they're one of my favorite bands of all time,
really
and I just blanked on them. Yeah, but no, she was the lead singer in that, and she's got her own, solo stuff and everything. If you have not checked her out, just look up Jenny Lewis, and I mean, she's beautiful too. Oh man.
I don't even remember a girl in the movie.
In The Wizard?
No.
Yeah, it's like the main girl in the. She's on the poster and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Jenny Lewis back when she was an actress, because she was a child actress growing up. She was in other movies like Troop Beverly Hills and stuff like that. And she was on some episodes of Golden Girls, and she was on the TV show Brooklyn Bridge, which was an amazing show too. But anyways, yeah, you can tell a little bit. I kind of have a crush on her.
That's fine.
She was one of my first crushes as a kid, and I still think she's amazing. Anyways, so yeah, Jenny Lewis, if you're listening to this podcast, I'd be more than happy to interview you for this. I'm not really creepy, I swear.
No, he's not.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You're welcome.
Yeah, just because I know things, but you know what? I'm so uncreepy that I forgot the name of your band.
Yeah.
Am I helping at all here, Matt?
No, I mean, yeah, you're okay. You're not helping, but you're not hurting either.
Oh, okay, good.
So it's not really. I mean, you're just filming space and time.
I just don't want to get a restraining order.
No, I mean,
filed against me from
like
Jenny Lewis
dude,
or something. Yeah,
you're not like that dude who was had a restraining order filed against him, who was a huge fan of Tiffany, the musician.
Oh, really?
He was this. They actually made a documentary about this two like super fans of the singer actress or whatever,
Tiffany. Yeah.
And one of them was a guy who was had Asperger's, and the only reason why I say that is because that's kind of like one of the main things that's mentioned in the documentary. Is like his syndrome. Like he became like super obsessed with her.
Yeah.
And for some reason he had the idea to come to her shows, one of her shows, like in the late '80s. And in his mind, he was doing this as like a gift, like a show of his appreciation. And he brought a samurai sword to the concert, and he was going to present it to her as a gift.
Oh wow!
Out of respect. Guy's not Asian, not of any Japanese descent, or neither is she, as far as I know. So, if understandably, the police, weren't sure of his intentions, because he goes, "Oh well, in traditional Japanese culture, it's a sign of respect to give someone a sword." It's like, yeah, but we're not living in traditional Japanese culture, so, and neither of you have any of heritage of that, and you're not really practicing of that heritage, so it's kind of, no one would really assume that that's why you're bringing a sword to a concert, dude. Anyway, so you're not like that, dude. So, and she had to put a restraining order, I guess, because she thought that he was gonna try to cut her head off or something like that.
It makes sense.
But in his mind, he's like, no, I'm just gonna give her a sword. It's like, when you say give her a sword, you mean, no, I mean like I was actually gonna give her a sword. Yeah, and by that, no, I mean like, literally present her,
give it to her as a gift.
Well, so he tried that. They confiscated the sword, I guess. And, but yeah, he
that I understand. I've
so
never
not like that. No.
See, I've never even been to one of her concerts.
No, you're not. So you're not. Don't have to worry. And he go to like every one of her concerts for a while. And
but with that said, Tiffany, if you'd like to be on our show too,
and we're not like that guy either in that show.
No, you could be on our show, or if you'd like to, talk to us over the phone or something.
She still plays. She still.
Oh yeah, I know concerts. She's still popular, and but more importantly, Jenny Lewis, if you'd like to be on the show. Wait, I'm not coming off too creepy.
But that documentary is insane, man. We should watch it sometime.
I'll have to check that out.
It's called I Think We're Alone Now.
Oh, okay, that makes sense because of the song.
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, it's a little bit. I think they kind of play up the whole like, oh, you get the guy's Asperger's like as a joke kind of thing, which I don't think
that's not
appropriate. Good. And also the other person is like a transgender person. They made fun of that too. So I was like, yeah. So you brought ableism and transphobia into one documentary, but the documentary itself is still pretty interesting nonetheless. So,
but Abel was the better son than Cain.
Wow.
So, anyways, we're gonna end on that really bad joke. Be sure to, check us out at cullenpark.com, follow us on social media and all that good stuff. You can send us money if you want, if you want us to keep doing this stuff. Or if you want to send us money and make us stop, I mean, I'll take the money. No, wait, no, I don't want to stop. So if only send us money if you want us to continue.
Yeah. And just.
But email me at mike@cullenpark.com if you want to just send me money.
Oh, I see.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Just to him personally.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so cool.
So yeah, cool. Anyways, until we meet again.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.